Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! The stage is set for Onigashima. The Wano War is ready to go. So in this video, we're going to be breaking down all the matchups that will happen in Wano. The way I map this out is I have the main matchups set in stone. Is whoever is going to be fighting that person for the majority of the fight is how they're going to be matched up. And of course, it's not all one-on-ones. It's going to be tag teams as well. So all these matchups are not really going to cross over that much. And with these matchups, it's going to be people who are definitely there. I'm not speculating who's going to be coming into the war. That's a discussion for another video. But first, let's meet our contestants. In the red corner, weighing in at 30,000 soldiers, the undisputed champion of Wano, the Kaido Big Mom Alliance. Leading 20,000 men is Kaido of the Beasts, one of the Yonko of the world and known as the strongest creature, with a bounty of 4,611,100,000 berries. Under his command are the three All-Stars, King the Conflagration, Queen the Plague, and Jack the Drought. Below them are the Tobi Roppo, the 6 strongest headliners, X-Drake, Who's Who, Sasaki, Black Maria, Ulti, and Page 1. He also has command of the numbers, 9 gigantic demon monster things. The rest of his men are broken down into 4 categories. The waiters, foot soldiers awaiting a chance to eat a smile devil fruit. The pleasures, failed experiments who laugh for no reason and can't swim. Gifters, the lucky 10% that gained abilities from the smile devil fruits. And the headliners, the elite of the gifters. Notable members also include DJ Scratchman Apu and headliner Basho Hawkins, both supernovas of the worst generation, and his mysterious son. Leading 10,000 men is Kurozumi Orochi. This short stubby shogun has eaten the Hebi no Mi, motto Yamata no Orochi, a mythical zoan fruit that allows him to transform into an 8-headed snake. Within his 10,000 men he has Kurozuki Kondoro, one of the 9 red scabbards that served under Kazuki Oden, the Mimawari Gumi, Orochi's elite samurai squad, and the Orochi Oniwabanshu, the 11-member ninja squad that serve Orochi. And finally, leading an estimated 15 members is Big Mom. Charlotte Linlin is another Yonko of the world with a bounty of 4,388,000,000 berries. Under her command are Sweet Commander Charlotte Smoothie with a 932 million berry bounty and a pair of very long legs. Possibly former Sweet Commander snack? Eldest son Charlotte Perospero and fourth son Charlotte Daifuku. And then about another dozen officers. And in the blue corner, weighing in at 5,400 men and then some, the Ninja, Pirate, Mink, Samurai Alliance. Leading the 5,400 samurai is the mastermind genius Fire Fox Kinemon, the leader of the 9 red scabbards. Along with him are the other samurai of the scabbards, Ashura Doji, Denjiro, Kikunojo of the lingering snow, and Kawamatsu the Kappa. Within the rest of the samurai are the Yakuza bosses, Hyogoro of the flower and the other 4. Oh yeah, Momonosuke too. Leading the pirates are the 3 captains, Monkey D. Luffy, Trafalgar D. Waterlaw, and Eustace Kid. Luffy leads the Straw Hat Pirates, which includes Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Sanji, Chopper, Robin, Frankie, Brook, Jinbei, and Kid. Law leads the Heart Pirates, which includes Beppo, the big slave guy, and those 2 other white guys. Kid leads the Kid Pirates, which includes Killer and the Fa Choir. Leading the Ming tribe are Duki Narashi and Master Neko Momushi. They are also 2 of the 9 red scabbards. Within the Ming tribe are Shishilia and the other members of the Musketeer squad, the Guardians, and potential Straw Hat Carrot. And finally, last but not least, the 2 ninjas, Raizo of the Mist and Shinobu the Man Killer. Okay, but now let's actually get into the matchup. I had to take that thing off, it was way too hot. I'm sweating now, but I hope you enjoyed that little intro there. But first up, our matchup is Kaido versus Luffy, Kid, and Law. So it doesn't necessarily have to be this one-on-one fight situation that we saw a lot pre-time skip. With Kaido, I think a lot of people will help, but the majority of damage is going to be coming from Law, Kid, and Luffy. And, I think Luffy will be the one to really rise and outshine the others because he's the protagonist, obviously, and that's what has to happen. And by the end of it, maybe he defeats Kaido and kills him, or maybe he doesn't kill him. It could even be Zoro that kills him and lands the finishing blow. But I think the majority of damage is going to be done by these 3 and Luffy in particular. And by the end of battle, he might not be stronger than Kaido, but it's important that he had enough strength to do some real damage and ultimately defeat him with help, because that's one of his perks as well, of the ability to get people around him and be a leader. So that's that matchup. Next up, we have Big Mom versus Luffy and Kid. Now already I said there was not going to be a lot of crisscrossing, but we're crossing over already. But that's a unique situation because I don't think Big Mom is going to stay here the whole time. I'll talk more about it in another video, but probably I think the most likely option is probably she leaves because maybe Blackbeard attacks Totland or something. I think there's going to be some kind of betrayal and she has to leave the battle scene, so it comes down to just Kaido's side. That doesn't mean her and her squad are not going to get any fighting action. I think they're there for a reason, and they're going to be used as power scaling and storytelling for the rest of the characters for sure. So I think Luffy and Kid are the only two people that have connection with her, and this is their like shining arc. I think Kid's going to get a lot of shining arc, so what better way to do that than have him go against two Yonko that he already previously fought and like kind of lost. So I think Law, I didn't include him here because he really has no connection at all to Big Mom. Maybe he'll tussle with her a little bit, but I think it really comes down to Luffy and Kid for this one. Of course, Jinbei could also get some action against her. Well, hopefully we'll see some interaction and learn about what happened to Jinbei, how he escaped, maybe how he was lying. She could be like, hey, Jinbei, you're here. How was it burying the sun pirates that I killed? It could have been like not a banquet at all, and he was just like having a funeral essentially, and everybody's just dead. It could be something like that. But so hopefully we get that explained. And then also Nami has to have some kind of interaction with Big Mom. I mentioned this in my Wano Power Up video, but I think Zeus has to go back to Big Mom. It doesn't make sense for her to not be able to take back Zeus, especially that was one of the things she mentioned when she came to Wano. So I think those two will definitely have an interaction, a little bit of a battle with Zeus there. Next up, we have King versus Zoro and Killer. Now I think a majority of people already saw King versus Zoro as a main fight. Wano is supposed to be Zoro's arc because he's a samurai, he's a swordsman. We haven't seen Zoro go hard and go ham post time skip, and we're hoping to see it here. And of course, King has been seen as Kaido's right-hand man, and Zoro's kind of the right-hand man, the first mate, so we want that battle. However, I think this, I have to give out a shout out to Tekking. I saw this mentioned in his video, and it just like opened my mind to a whole new world because it just makes so much sense for all these tag teams to happen instead of these like one-on-ones that we saw in like Alabasta and like Innie's Lobby. So like some people might have a problem of the power jump where Luffy had such a hard time defeating two of the Sweet Commanders, and now Zoro and Sanji or Jinbei are like going up against commander level people would kind of rub people the wrong way possibly, because that's a pretty big power jump. But having them pair up with another strong person to defeat this person while still having them have like the final blow and like the shine in the end, sort of like how Luffy and Law teamed up against Doflamingo. I think it works like that. It could work like that really well storytelling wise, and there's so many people in this war right now, it just makes sense for people to team up and defeat these guys. So there's a way of power scaling people up to certain levels while still giving them help and letting everybody kind of be incorporated into the story. With this war, I really expect Sanji, Zoro, and Jinbei to be established as near commander level. Maybe not exactly because they'll get some help, but close to that level, and then the rest of the Straw Hats, as well as the Scabbards at like Supernova, Tobiropo, almost commander level people. So with this King fight and Zoro, I think that's the best way it will work. Next up, we have Queen versus Sanji and Chopper. Sanji, I really think he's gonna get a lot of shine here. He actually really hasn't gotten that much battle shine either. He's been focused on so much other things, kind of showcasing his strategics a little more. He's always been super smart, and that's been one of his things, but we want to see him go against like a straight battle where he's like focused and he could go in. And I think Queen, you know, we've always seen it's just Luffy fights the strongest, and then Zoro fights the second strongest, and Sanji fights the third strongest, and it's always been that like that. And I think it would be wrong to like break that formula and have Jinbei all of a sudden jump to second or first. It just doesn't make that much sense to me, so I still want to see that pattern followed with Sanji fighting the second one. That being said, he also needs some help, and I brought Chopper in because, you know, Queen the Plague, Chopper is the doctor that wants to solve everything. It just makes a lot of sense, And I also couldn't think of like another opponent for Chopper to really get a one-on-one fight with and get his own individual shine. I actually really wanted to see that, but I just couldn't think of an opponent that really suited him, that made a lot of sense, that I had confidence in. So I think him teaming up with Sanji here, where he's going up against a commander now. Chopper would be fighting a commander, a Yonko commander. Obviously he wouldn't be able to defeat him, but if he could contribute a lot, I think it would be a nice shining moment for him and power scale him up a little more as well. Next up we have Jack versus Inuarashi and Nekomamushi. Now, a lot of people wanted Jinbei to fight Jack. That way you could establish the commanders with King, Queen, Jack fighting Zoro, Sanji, Jinbei, and it's a fishman on fishman action, so it makes a lot of sense. But I think the way Zoe was set up and that whole arc was really just Jack versus the Minks, and you had Nekomamushi and Inuarashi butting heads this whole time, and like their progression, it would be just really fitting for them to come together and fight together and go and get revenge on the guy who destroyed their village and really damaged them and took off their limbs and just hurt their tribe a lot. So I think storytelling wise, them fighting Jack just makes a lot of sense. That being said, I don't think Jinbei, he could definitely get some action against Jack, and I would think maybe Ashura Doji gets a little rematch there, and Kawamatsu, being a fishman as well, could get some action against Jack. But I think in the end, the main fight has to be Inuarashi and Nekomamushi. Next up, we have Smoothie versus Jinbei and Kiku. So now it's convenient that Smoothie, another commander level person, is at Wano's. This way you can still have Jack fight Neko and Inu, and Jinbei still be power scaled up to that commander level by fighting Smoothie. It just makes a lot of sense to me this way, because you could still keep the hierarchy of Zoro fighting the second strongest, Sanji fighting the third strongest, and then Jinbei not necessarily the third, but you know, he's kind of in between, so you don't know who's stronger, but he's still fighting like a commander level. So I think it's like the best of both worlds. You make everybody happy with the formalities, the hierarchy stays the same, but at the same time we don't know if Jinbei is actually weaker than them. You just establish all of them as commander level people. Smoothie also needs more shine with how much Oda was talking about her and how strong she is, and how he just wasn't able to like use her properly in Whole Cake Island because there was so much going on with Katakuri and Sanji's story and Carrot and Pedro and so much going on already. So hopefully we'll get a good fight here. Those two know each other as well from their time together on the Big Mom Pirates. And Smoothie, you know, is the ring fruit. She could suck people dry. Okay, in multiple ways, maybe, I don't know. And Jinbei, fishman karate, he could control the water, he's a fishman, it just works very well. And Kiku, I'm not so confident about this one, but I think it makes sense enough where I don't think Jinbei could solo a commander level person, so he needs some kind of help. So Kiku, I feel like, is the perfect little plug there to help him with the battle. And her being a red scabbard, I think she needs her shine as well. And, you know, two gigantic women, although Smoothie is like almost twice the size of Kiku, it just makes sense there. For me, I couldn't really find anywhere else for Kiku to be. I almost put her in the unknown matchup section, which I'll talk about later. But her fighting with Jinbei against Smoothie, it just fits pretty well enough for me to be pretty confident in this matchup prediction. Next up, we have X-Drake versus Kaido. Another crossover here. This is because X-Drake, I think he's gonna turn in the end. I don't think he's gonna reveal like, oh, I'm a sword member and a marine or anything like that, but I think in the very end, when he sees Kaido is going down and the tide is turning, he's gonna betray him and turn and focus, use all his power to take down Kaido and bring him down. I also think he might get some action with against the Scabbards, because remember, he was on the Beast Pirates for like almost 2 years and did some bad things with them, like attack and destroy Amigasa village. So I think people will have some ill will towards him, and he'll definitely get some people that want to take him down. So we'll see him in action a little bit, but I don't think he's going to really seriously fight like the other Tobi Roppo that we're going to mention. So I think in the end he will use all his strength and turn against Kaido and fight Kaido. Next up, we have Who's Who versus Denjiro. Now with the Tobi-Roppo, you're gonna hear a lot of repeat from my Tobi-Roppo video where I kind of talked about like their potential fights, but Denjiro is one of the people I brought up, and the only other person I really thought about Who's Who fighting was Brook. That would be cool, but I thought of another better opponent for him, which I'll mention in a little bit. But Denjiro, super strong swordsman. I think the Red Scabbards will really get their shine, you know, especially the people that have been here for 20 years. And, you know, it's been shown that they're super strong. Neko and Inu, you know, just their inability to work together really was the only thing stopping them from taking down Jack. It's like their strength has been like kind of foreshadowed, and Ashidoji was able to wound Jack, and Denjiro's just been practicing just the same. Like he mentioned last chapter that he's been, you know, keeping himself together and ready for this 20-year revenge plot against Orochi and Kaido. So hopefully he fights Who's Who, two swordsmen. Tobi-Roppo keeps him like right underneath commander level, shows off the skill of the Red Scabbards. It'd be a great fight to see. Next up, we have Sasaki versus Kawamatsu. These two just make a lot of sense. I'm gonna really go through quick with the Tobi-Roppo here because I discussed it in my video about them already, but two fishmen, probably Sasaki is a fishman. It just makes a lot of sense. Again, bring that power scaling up, giving the Red Scabbards a shine. Those two, that matchup, made in heaven for me personally. Next up, we have Black Maria versus Robin. Giant versus Giant. Gigantomano versus the actual Giant. Battle for best girl. Makes perfect sense. Next up, we have Ulti versus Nami. Two girl battles. I'm really excited to see Nami get some hand-to-hand combat action, and with Ulti having that bratty personality, it just works very well with Nami. I mentioned, again, I'm going to reference that video a lot, so just go watch it. But Nami with a bratty personality, like she was like with Isa in Skypiea, she was able to just kind of tone her in, and just like they bounced off each other, had a really good dynamic. I think her in a fight against Ulti it would be really fun and exciting, and it'd be really great to see Nami get her finally one-on-one shine. It's been so long since we've seen something like that, probably like Fishman Island, I guess you want to count it, but not really. But yeah, I want to see her use that new Clean attack to its full potential. Maybe bring Zeus in there a little bit, and you know, just use her battle wits again. Maybe the Mirage tempo, something beyond her OP lightning that she uses. Just a little more of her battle skills, so we just see more shine from Nami. And against Ulti, that's just perfect. I want to see it.
Hey guys, but I'm just editing here, and I realized I forgot Usopp. So first of all, I apologize for I have sinned for forgetting our God and our one and only deity, God Usopp. But Usopp is gonna fight Page 1 in my opinion. I think Page 1 is the weakest of the Tobi-Roppo because he was introduced early and he's shown to be the youngest. He kind of like didn't really put up that strong of a fight against Sanji. So I think he's the weakest, but he's also got that kind of like scary anime guy kind of face to him. And of course he could turn into a dinosaur, so Usopp's gonna get freaked out and scared. It's gonna be a fun, funny battle, but at the same time, it's a way for Usopp to get power scaled to that right below commander level, the Tobi-Roppo power level. So I think Usopp and Page 1 would be the perfect matchup.
Next up, we have Apu versus Brook. Another one. This I didn't think about this before. But this musician versus musician is just perfect. I thought about Brook fighting Who's Who as a way to really power scale him, but him fighting a supernova also makes a lot of sense. It power scales him up a lot. We haven't seen a lot from Apu. Hopefully Brook could just wipe him down, because I think there needs to be a supernova that's just like bad, right? I think all the other people, even like you think about Kid and Capone, they kind of been humanized a little bit and not seem as bad. They're still like not great people, but you know, just the way we've been with them and learned about them, it's been kind of humanizing to see. But Apu, you know, he's the one that betrayed Kid and Killer and Hawkins. I think there needs to be that one guy that's just an evil supernova, and think it has to be him. And for Brook to take him out with his music skills, they'll be like rock banding, they'll be like having like a guitar off. It'd be really cool to see just these two musicians battle it out. And for Brook to get power scaled to that supernova level is something that I want to see as well. well. Next up, we have Perospero versus Carrot and the Guardians. Now, potential Straw Hat member here with Carrot. If she's gonna be a Straw Hat member, I also want to see her power scale to close to commander level, which Perospero is probably right there. Maybe Oven Daifuku is one of those guys would probably jump to the next level if a Sweet Commander were to be demoted. So I think Carrot fighting Perospero, especially with the whole Pedro thing, he sacrificed himself to kill Perospero. Maybe Carrot could kill Perospero. That would be great. And then the Guardians, of course, were Pedro's squad with Neko. So this is something I really want to see Carrot get her shine in Wano a little more, so her chances of being a Straw Hat bumps up a little more. Of course, if you haven't checked out my Carrot video right there, check it out. But these two together just makes a lot of sense. Sulong formed Carrot against this Candy Perospero, just duking it out. It'd be great to see. Next up, we have Daifuku versus Frankie. I mean, come on, just look at them. Just look at them. They look the same. I mean, just the way they're set up. It just makes a lot of sense. Again, Daifuku, another person, is like right below Sweet Commander level, I feel like. So the power scaling works according to my theory as well. And it kind of be a battle of like mythical, like genie versus like technology with Frankie. Them two battling out. Like it's just, they look the exact same. The big shoulders, their head, everything. So them battling out makes a lot of sense. A lot of super moves. A lot of great moments that could be really created from this. Next up, we have Kanjuro versus Kinemon. This another one that makes a lot of sense. Kinemon, the leader of the Red Scabbards. Him and Kanjuro, the first two people were really introduced to. Kinemon and Punk Hazard, and then Kanjuro and Dressrosa. We've been in with them for a long time, and then with Kanjuro being the trader, and he's also kind of strong with his drawing ability. He, blocked Kawamatsu when he was escaping, and of course he could draw with his hair, so he's actually pretty strong. And for Kinemon to really get his shine as a leader and also showcase his strength, because Kanjuro is strong now, this would be a great battle for Kinemon to really go all in and showcase his leadership and dedication to Odin, and just these two characters we know for so long duking it out just would be really great storytelling, and the fight I think would be awesome as well. Next up, we have Orochi versus the Scabbards. Now, a lot of people want to kill Orochi. Zoro, Hiyori, Momonosuke, but with him having 8 heads and now there's 8 Scabbards, it just makes perfect sense. Maybe like in the Scabbards, I think, as I mentioned already, they're going to be focusing on other battles, but like after that, they're a little worn out. Maybe it's a little harder to fight against Orochi, but they just, at the end, they just go for it. They finally have like the final strength. Boom, just each one of them chops a head off. It's just very poetic to me. The Scabbards, that's really what they wanted to do, to take out Orochi and regain control of Wano. And that's the guy who betrayed Odin, and there's 8 of them. It's just makes a lot of sense. A lot of these just make so much sense to me, and I'm starting to like really convince myself that all these are gonna happen. And I'm probably gonna be very disappointed when it doesn't. But this, it just, in the end, I think this what makes the most sense. Next up, we have Big Mom Pirates versus the Heart Pirates and the Kid Pirates. Pirate on pirate action, of course, when, it's a little callback. It could be foreshadowing, whereas like when you're on the sea, you gotta fight pirates. And when you're fighting pirates, maybe you need pirates to fight pirates, There's only like about a dozen other people of the Big Mom Pirates. You have like Montor, Flampe, Capote. They're still strong. They're officers, so they're all like decent strength, so they would definitely cause trouble to like the regular samurai, maybe even minks a little bit. But this is a chance for us to learn a little more about the Heart Pirates and the Kid Pirates. All we really know from them are we have Jean Bart, Beppo, Sachi, and Penguin of the Heart Pirates, and the Heat and Wire from the Kid Pirates. So maybe we'll learn more members, and we'll have them really tag team and showcase their strength as a crew to go up against the Big Mom Pirate officers. Maybe we'll get Jean Bart against Capote. That could be a good battle. The Kid Pirates fighting Flampe, maybe. That would be very satisfying. This ruthless gang fighting Flampe and taking her down will be great to see. Actually, please, Oda, let it give us that. And, good chance to up the power scale of those two pirate crews and give them a little more shine and backstory and detail as well. Next up, we have the Oni Wabanshu versus Raizo and Shinobu. Again, you're seeing a lot of themes. This is ninja on ninja, but it's 11 versus 2. But it's a good chance for Raizo to showcase his skills, that he's not just this goofy guy that makes clones of him and like could teleport and use smoke bombs. He's also a scabbard, and he could go 2 on 11 and defeat these other ninjas. And you know, just all the ninjutsu that will be introduced will be really cool. And I think with Oda introducing the Oni Wabanshu and really giving them very particular designs means they're at least gonna get some shining moments, right? So I think that with that, they're set up to at least fight a bigger person. I think Raizo's the perfect candidate. Of course, Shinobu used to be part of them, and then she stayed loyal to Odin. And you know, she'll have some interaction with them. Maybe we'll learn why she changed her appearance so much. What really happened with that? But yeah, this ninja on ninja battle, some Naruto type stuff would be really fun and exciting to see. The next battle with the Mimawarigumi versus Hyogoro and the Yakuza. This is kind of a minor battle, but I think it's a way for you know, the just people that we know have been mentioned and pointed out, and just like kind of maybe even off panel a little bit, but just noted that they're fighting each other. Maybe the elite squad of the Orochi, the Mimawarigumi, start giving the regular samurai some trouble, and then the Yakuza bosses jump right in. They're like, hold on, we're gonna stop you right there. Don't underestimate us. We're gonna put you in your tracks so our other samurai could go and fight the other people. So not a major battle, but I think it's a good matchup right there. Next up, we have the headliners and gifters versus the Minks and Otama. Now I'll talk about Otama in a little bit, but obviously the headliners, gifters versus the Minks, right there, you know, it's kind of the real versus fake kind of thing. You have fake zones that aren't really even that complete against minks who are actual like animals, and you know, they're gonna be in Sulan form as a way to really upscale the minks. They're outnumbered for sure. It's probably like over 1,000 headliners and gifters against like maybe a few hundred minks at most. So they're definitely outnumbered, but it's a way to kind of separate them into their own group. I think it's a good way to, you know, kind of separate everything. The way this battle, I've named it, you know, 1-on-1s, 2-on-1s, and then just sections of groups fighting each other is the way it's depicted. I don't think Oda's just gonna draw a big battlefield of people fighting and not point out who's actually fighting who. So I think right here, Minks versus those guys makes a lot of sense. Now Tama, little girl, she's 8 years old. I don't think they're gonna bring her to the war, but she's OP, especially against these headliners. She took, what was his name, Baba Ganoush or something? The warden of the Udon jail with just one of her ball thingies, whatever, the candy thing, and fed it to him, and now she has full control over him, just like that. Easy, so easy. So maybe she doesn't come, but she like prepares like baskets of those little balls for them beforehand, and then right when the tide is turning, the samurai start busting them out, just like pop, 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 and just throw them all over the place. And then they all of a sudden start getting control of the gifters and headliners, and then now the tide's turning. You know, the numbers advantage will still be on the Kaido and Orochi and Big Mom's side, but now they have the ability users have turned against them. And I think betrayal is a huge thing in this war and this arc, and we're gonna see a lot of it. And this could be like, you know, subliminally another thing that fits underneath that theme. So watch out for Atama. You know, I think her ability, you could have just easily made her like a regular little girl. Her having mentioned that ability, maybe another thing is she'll tame a bunch of animals, and there's like an animal squad that comes in with like Onimaru and everything. It's a bunch of like gigantic beasts just head in and start fighting the gifters and everything. So that could be another thing, but I do think Otama will be involved somehow with the headliners and gifters. Next up, we have the numbers versus everyone. The numbers, I don't think they're gonna get like individual battles, right? They're just shown to be these gigantic people. Think of Oars Oars Jr. in Marineford. It wasn't like he had a one-on-one fight. He just proved to be this very big, difficult person to deal with for the Marines. Now, obviously, like if Aokiji and the rest of them really tried, they could have taken down Oars Jr. pretty easily if they really went ham. But, you know, just the sheer size of Oars prove to be a problem. And I think, the numbers will be the same way. They'll prove to be a problem in the war, and maybe you'll have Luffy and the Scabbards or some of them take them down, maybe Chopper with Monster Point, take down a number to just showcase their strength, but there's like 9 of them, right? There's a lot of them. They're going to prove to be an issue, and just another overwhelming advantage for Kaido's side. We'll see how all of them get taken down, but they're just kind of gonna be roaming around and being a very big problem for the Samurai Mink Ninja Pirate Alliance. And then lastly, we have the Pleasures Waiters Orochi Samurai versus the rest of the Samurai. That's just the rest of the war. Everybody's just hacking it out and fighting each other. Yeah, that's a war. That's a Wano War for you. And now I just want to touch on some unknown matchup, people that I couldn't really confidently attach to somebody. One of those is Ashura Doji, the only Scabbard that I couldn't figure out a main battle for, and he's like one of the strongest. So that's like kind of the issue I had. Now I thought about maybe him tag teaming with Sanji to fight Queen, but I really couldn't think of a better option for Chopper. And it just made a lot of sense. Doctor versus the Plague there. Jack a little bit, Ashura Doji could definitely fight Orochi. He will. I would likely think he chops one of the heads of Orochi off. But one person that would make a lot of sense is Snack, if he's there. We don't know if he's there because they only showed him in the anime, and I don't know why. If it's not canon, maybe they got a little bit of a tip that he is there. Because if he's really not there and Oda draws a war later, either Snack's just gonna disappear or he's just not gonna be doing anything. We're gonna be like, people watching the anime and be like, why is Snack, a former Sweet Commander, not doing a single thing? It doesn't make a lot of sense. But if he is there, it's a great way for Ashura Doji to get an opponent, power scale him up, show his true strength, and those two duking it out. Snack's kind of a big, bulky guy too, so I think it'd be a really nice battle for Ashura Doji there, if he's there. Next up, we have Basho Hawkins. He's a tarot card simp, okay? He is very subservient to the tarot cards. He will do whatever they say. So the only person that knows what Hawkins is gonna do are the tarot cards, okay? I can see it going multiple ways where he sees the tarot cards finally show that Luffy's side has a higher chance of winning, and he goes and fights with them, or maybe it's a low chance, but he, goes against his ideologies. Probably not going to happen. Tarot card simp again. But, it could also be he sides with Kaido because the chances are low, and then Luffy proves him wrong. Or maybe he just runs away because the tarot cards say, hey, this is your chance to escape, and he just gets the fuck out of there. So yeah, Hawkins, complete mystery. I have no idea who's going to fight. Another person that I really don't know is going to be able to battle is Momo. He's 8 years old. He's been practicing screaming snatch and all that. He could turn into a little dragon. But I don't really think he's really ready to fight anybody unless he brings Zunisha over or some crazy stuff like that. I think he will have his moment storytelling wise of being brave and everything, but as far as fighting, not really. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Marco, the One Piece theorist, did have this theory a while back. I saw that Momo turns into an adult because of the Tokidoki no Mi, and Kidama and the others also get stronger and jump 20 years in strength. Almost like if you see Reborn, who's that guy's name with the little afro? Lambo, Lambo is able to jump into the future. It's kind of that style, but it's a little far-fetched. It's not a super detailed theory that he made, although he's been right on so many things. I'm afraid to doubt him. But, maybe if he does get that jump, he could fight the other person that I don't know who's going to fight, Kaido's son, because we know nothing about this guy, or if he's even alive, or if he's even in Wano. So, is he even strong? How old is he? What is he like? We don't know at all. If he is strong, maybe he could fight Law, and then that way Luffy and Kid get the major shine against Big Mom and Kaido. That could be a way to make it work, but yeah, we just don't know anything about Kaido's son. So I can't really make a matchup for him. But that is it for the Wano War matchups. What matchups would you want to see, and who do you think will be fighting who specifically in Wano? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please hit that like button. Helps a lot with the algorithm and all that kind of stuff. And if you want to keep up to date with when I'm uploading and posting, you gotta subscribe. So please hit that subscribe button. We're at almost 30, 25 subscribers already in just like 2 weeks, and that's really dope to see. I'm having a lot of fun, so thank you guys for your support. Follow me on Twitter at IamDKing4, and thank you guys for watching once again, and I'll see you later. Peace.